Alright, so today is basically for stretches, right? I when this our martial arts guy, Sabon Kuba, when he came to the when he came to the class recently, I kind of realized that, bro, my stretches are shit, and at least I know I'm not so flexible, right? But at least I know that I was not this bad. Like I was not this bad a couple of years ago. Yeah, I had to do like yoga, I should stretch, but bruh, just made me realize, let me get rid of all this dirt around here or something. Just made me realize that, bro, it's either you use it or you truly lose it. So I want to do like leg drills, then stretch today, like usually footwork, right? So I'm thinking, I think I need to find a way to like arrange all these sheets here or something. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1. So I'm doing these extras because my coach says that I haven't gotten my fundamentals yet, and for my fundamentals they can intensify my training. After the intensity, I guess I can go and try out another school completely. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Static squat. So static stretch rather. I'm going to lean forward, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. So I'll move into some deeper stuff. So now I'm going to the one that looks like horse riding, right? So it's more like horse riding. So you stretch, right? Then when you dip it forward, because you're pushing, you want to push the hips forward with a straight spine, because it's going to help stretch the hip flexors further. So try to sink as low as stretch and sink as low as possible. So take it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is how far I can go with this. So don't laugh at me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on. Okay, so still on that same horse riding stuff, right? So once just go up and down on it with a straight spine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So still keeping this, right? You can go 1, 2, straight spine, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so after that, warm it up, shake it out. So from here we're going to, hold on, I think I'm missing some extra stretches. I'm making some extra. I know we'll do this now, but I think there's one more thing that we're doing left. Let me see. Okay, so yes, I remembered. So I'm going to flip this up, right? Flip this up, keep it to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? How does that get me? So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some people are approaching here, so I want to hide. 'Cause 8 stones in between. Okay, shake it off. Ah, okay, that's it. Yamati. Ah, down, that's good. Ah, shit, man. I think I should leave Thursdays for stretching. Thursdays will be a very good time to place my stretches. So then going back with that, the way I just be on the toes to be to, I'm learning, because I feel like, or if you see a fighter walk, you should be able to tell that he's a fighter from the way he walks. So, 1, 2 is that it gives you that identity. I've also noticed something that we train our bodies to do a lot of things. So 2 things I want to train my body to do, right, is to breathe in to my belly. The second thing I want to do is to be able to walk on my toes for most of it. Not really on my toes like this, but my toes basically, where it's basically my toes that are on the ground. And it's ironical how I have always known I had these problems for a while, but not just had the right time to slot it in. I feel like that's the idea of self-improvement, right? You consume the content, you have an idea of the kind of habits or that you have to build in the long run, and you slowly layer them. Sometimes these habits come in automatically. So for example, now is one thing I know I do a lot now is putting my tongue on the roof of my mouth. That's something that I think I'm really let me try. So I think it is jab, 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 so jab, jab, jab. That's a complete failure there. Let me open up this place. Open up here. And then open up here. Alright, so 2 fish ones. One. Two. Okay, that's supposed to be 2. Two. Clean. Okay. Alright. In, out. So to be very frank, this helps with, like my instructor says, I feel it really does help with the rhythm. Because everything is a rhythm, everything is a pattern. You figure out the pattern to life, That's literally cheat code to life, figuring out patterns. So in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Okay, so alright, going to be start over again. So in, out, in, out, in, out. Okay, so one other thing you realize is if you're doing this now, you're thinking it, that's where everything falls to shit. The thing that you let flow, and it reminds me that the easier, the more you access this flow state in anything you're doing, the better for you, and the better it is for you to understand or for you to get the rhythm. But the better point is, the first point is intentionally get the rhythm first in your head. In, out, in, out, in, out. That's the rhythm. So I will try now to do it without thinking about it, because most often than not, our thinking this often disrupts what it is that we are doing. So in, out, in, out, in, out. Hey, yep. It felt across my head is this lady who makes content. She has a good following, and I think it's her energy that she brings to the content that's actually giving her that amount of followers. The way she brings the energy, the way she's shouting at, I think she makes reaction videos, right? And she's shouting at them, and she's like, okay, so in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Okay. A new one, something similar, right? And I think one thought came to my head that my coach said yesterday. He said a lot of heavy people, they move heavy, right? They move heavy, but if you look at Mike Tyson, a lot of people don't realize that Mike Tyson got a philosophy to life that basically helped him where most people fell short. And what's the philosophy? The philosophy is that there are always in any given point in life two opposites, two trade-offs, right? Two extreme ends of life, two contradictions. Now most people, because of how their brains and their minds are wired, they often go for one of them. So for example is, I'm introvert, I'm extroverted, I'm big and slow, or I am small and fast. And that is why when my instructor highlighted to me that a lot of heavy guys, they move very, very heavy. So that's their big disadvantage. But when you zoom out and look at the best fighters who are heavy, you get to realize that they are heavy and they are fast. That means they can deliver heavy and deliver heavy very, very fast. And that is always the dichotomy of life. The best companies don't offer cheap services with low quality. They offer cheap services with high quality. Think about it, because it takes extra effort to think that deep. It takes extra effort to be that, because you have to unwire your mind, right? You have to reprogram yourself to see things much differently than the average person sees them. So, and if you're slim or you're small, you should be able to move fast and move strong also. That is also an edge. So what I always say is always try your possible best to get the best of both worlds. If you get the best of both worlds, you would always have the edge over any other person. So that was like a quick break to talk about philosophies and shit. Because in life, if you don't have philosophies, I don't know how you navigate it, but it's going to be a problem for you to navigate life if you don't have philosophies, things that you're thinking through. So it says it's in, out, out. So it's in, out, out. 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 So I think that's the rhythm. Let me try to bring it in. I'm thinking about it now, seeing the fact that literally I'm not capping. I don't know if it is the this effect, if it is the placebo effect, but literally I feel like I'm moving differently now. So let's do it. So in out out. Hey, no, enter, pass. Out. Hey, chill. In out. All right, let's try again. In out in out in out. Okay, let's try now. In out. Like my boxing coach says that if you can do 3 minutes skip without making a mistake, then it's guaranteed that in the boxing ring you have no problem, you're tough. If you can spring yourself for 3 minutes, that's one goal I think I have is skipping. Be able to spring myself for 3 minutes. So let's go again. In out. In out. So let me just now do it with a very high knee. So in out. Let me look at the next. Go for the next.
Internal cue here is in, out, knee. In, out, knee, in.
So he says what's supposed to be here is when I exit, my inner leg goes knee up. Alright. When I exit, the inner leg goes knee up. So something like 1, 2, 3. Okay, sorry. I'm doing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So and this leg comes forward. I'm thinking about what to eat today, bro. Rice and beans, I think. Alright, so right now I guess I'm frozen again. How did I do? So in out knee, in out knee, in out knee, in out knee. This dude just keeps. Yeah, I told him he could pass it to film a movement, I guess. Wait, how the fuck do they call me heavy and they don't call George heavy? Because we weigh about the same thing. Okay, now. Pass.
It can shuffle as you go back, but you also have to move backwards, so it does get a little tricky. Make sure that you move through this exercise.
Okay, so now we're going backwards. That is, I'm going to take most of those moves and do them in reverse. So in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out. Hey, so we'll start from the regular, or because I'm going backwards, I'll start from here, of which I will be starting with for most of the workout. It's going to be in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out. Start from here. Rather than do them again. Also, when the just come pick you up. In, out, out. In, out, out. Hey, so I got in here already. Do yours. So, the reason I made the mistake there is because I remember the thought process, right? When I firstly joined this particular school of martial arts, this particular fight club, fight team rather, one thing I realized was that Martin, who has spent years training martial arts, he has done something that made me question, why do we really fear people who are trained, right? And this is why I say everybody should learn how to fight. The first day I got there, I was training, and then there's this lock they had taught him. So I was like, okay, he did it for someone, but he could not break out of it. I mean, I was like, okay, let me see what makes this lock so powerful, right? Let me see what makes this lock so powerful. And he applies this for me, and I break the lock. Everyone is in shock. First time meeting Martin, right? I never knew who Martin was. Martin came up to me as probably some newbie too. Now, fast forward to later, I'm seeing Martin grading for Chondokwan. I'm saying, Martin, how's he doing that? Tell me your secret. How's he been? Martial arts. He has done karate, he has done judo, he has done wrestling, sambo. Now he's doing Chondokwan. Okay, good. No problems, right? And he spoke about, okay, fine. What about competition? He said that he has won several medals in competition. And one thing for sure is that it has boosted his confidence. I zoomed out and realized that, hold on, what that means is that it had more to do with confidence than technique is okay, right? But technique without confidence is trash, right? And it made me realize that in life, the things that actually count sometimes are not really the main thing we focus on. So we need to know those things that we focus on, because fighting is more of a mental game than it is a physical game. That is where a lot of people get fighting wrong. 1, 2 is, let me see. Another day where you're talking about how John Jones did not learn any traditional martial arts, right? But yet he's like the world's greatest MMA guy. And then he's like, okay, how did he do it? Try to figure out John Jones style. And then it dawned on me that, hold on, I too can be John Jones. I've seen the way John Jones walks around. You get to realize that he has this dark energy towards him, right? He has broken that dichotomy of somebody who is dangerous, right? He's big, he's fast, right? He's smart. He's not rushing to give technique. So he's not wasting his technique. He's like, okay, you know what? This person is guarded up, right? Because take it or leave it, he's already big, and people are already like predicting an attack because he's going to attack. He doesn't do defensive, he does offensive. And now he's going to meet him. The person is already guarded up. So he's thinking of the next move to make, and he makes the move, right? Or rather, as you look, if you zoom out and look at other people, when they have adrenaline pumped, guess what? They begin to want to throw as much as possible. But John Jones is calculating his next move. He's not just going with the wind. So I kind of realized that also fighting has more to do with confidence and a fight strategy. So yes, also got the idea from Miyamoto Musashi, who happened to be the world's craziest fighter. I don't see anybody who is going to break his record. I mean, now that we're not using swords and shit, and then just fight to the death. To them, death was the way to the new life, right? You are promised a better life after death than where you're currently living. So death was not a thing to be feared, but a thing that people enjoyed. So I was supposed to wear this, so I forgot to wear it. Hey, I didn't bring my shoes out. I'd love to do some road walk. So that's just what I observed about fighting, though. So all that means is that if I can have like the fundamentals, the mindset, and the right strategy, I should be able to become a fighter who can win at least 80% of the people who have been training for years with just technique, and also with mindfulness. Because I've come to realize that mindfulness itself is also a very great secret, right, to anything you're doing. That's how you get into flow states. Mindfulness. And the more you practice it, the better you get at it. Because a lot of people, they see mindfulness as this thing to be perfect before you start. Like the way people see confidence as this thing that, okay, it's either you have it or you don't, right? So some people are born with it, some people are natural at it. But what they don't realize is that confidence in of itself can be trained, and it's often trained, but most people don't train it because of the narratives they have in their head. Most people, if one thing you realize is most people walk with crazy thoughts in their heads. And this is where it's something that, this is one gift I think I have, right? The gift is when someone comes to me with their fucked up talk, I don't judge them for it, rather I try to see why it is so. That reminds me of this girl who I met. She's 16, right? Bro, I basically like had to put that girl in her space, talking to me about how, then again, I just didn't want a shit ton of drama, man. Just give her listening ears at the gym, though. She's my neighbor, she's my friend's sister. So we're just giving her like proper listening ears, not judging her for the funny things she does. Just made her think that, okay, this is somebody who is giving her listening ears. And I'm like, okay, yes, I'm giving you listening ears, but you do realize that after this conversation, I'm not getting your number. She actually found my IG. She followed me on IG. She sent a message, but I didn't open it. And I think she unsent it. I'm like, okay, fine. But that was like 3 years ago, so I haven't seen her since. I'm like, it's life. I feel like, yes, she may just want someone to listen to her, but that's how some fucked up thoughts start creeping around and shit. and it's not a wise thing for. And one thing as a guy, you should realize that the world doesn't care if the woman you are with is not thinking. They expect that as a man, you are the pinnacle of consciousness, right? Even among the animal kingdoms, the male species is seen to be pinnacle of consciousness. That's the reason I always tell guys that, guys, know your worth. Don't let any sort of media tell you what you're worth. And most guys, like I always say, most people walk around with fucked up stories in their head. So one thing you realize is, if you're that person that they can tell their story to, that's also a way of becoming a high vibration person. Listen to people's stories. Don't judge them, because why? We are all unique, and we have the way we handle our stuff that makes us truly unique. So someone tells you the story that makes them fucked up, just like give them that listening ear. Sometimes they want validation. They don't want. Sometimes some people want validation for the fucked up stories in their head. So I'm going to say how I did that in the other day. I'm trying to remember how it went. So I do a job. Do a job. Okay. I'll do a job. Do 2 of that. Do a 1-2. Right. Do a switch. With it. Switch with it. Jab, cross. Alright. So that reminds me. So, okay, before I forget this thought process, right? This new teacher comes in town. So he's not seeing me wearing a gi, right? So what that means is, to him, I am a beginner. So I want to say that when he keeps on telling people, yes, nice form, he never tells me jack shit. A part of me remember how that childhood memories will come about, how I wanted my teacher to validate me, right? I'll say yes. Then he made me remember that, okay, fine, hold on. Right? He may not be validating me because I'm doing rubbish. Doesn't mean that I'm doing the right thing. But, right, I should be able to look at the corrections given to people, go and practice, because he thinks I'm a 100% beginner, and in that process of him thinking I am a beginner, he doesn't see a need to correct it. He feels like by the time I've gotten to like a white belt, right, because I had no gi, maybe he can begin to correct him, because he was correcting those with the gis. Mind you, I'm not in their stuff, so maybe. Then again, I also remember to improve myself, on myself, for myself, and by myself. So that does not mean that I don't need his feedback. I'll take his feedback, correct me, but I should not yearn for it. So that means is, look at the correction he's making and try to get that in myself, right? Try to notice how to kick without. So again, my roundhouse keeps going down somehow. So I think he spoke about how I need to stretch so I can deliver that roundhouse. Because right now, when I deliver it, if I deliver it, my hips keeps opening up, and I can't tell why. Yeah, but as time goes on, as I stretch into it, right, so I can, okay. It still feels like it's going down, although my legs can go high, but I want it to be able to go up this way, and go straight, right? Not go up this way. And because of my pivoting leg, right, I can kick high, but I want to be able to go up. So you just maybe remember my childhood, how I used to yearn for validation and shit, and I should aim for feedback, not validation, in the sense that if it's not correcting me right now, I should see the corrections given to others, take it like it's mine, drill, and someday ask him for a feedback. That's my approach, right? So record myself, look at my mistakes, look at the corrections he's given to people, and work accordingly. Alright, so my guy's is like in his 57 and is agile as fuck. He's still giving heavy kicks, although he fell down on Saturday, but that does not still cancel out shit. So boom, 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 pa, pa, boom, 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 boom. So it's supposed to be. So cross, jab, 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 jab. Stay on my toes all through. Jab, 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 jab. Nice drill. If I want to come back now, how do I do it? If I go this, because I can't cross my leg, it means I have to go outside. So I have to go right on my toes. Guys, stay on your toes. It's going to be jab. Okay, jab. All right. So let's get right into it. Jab, 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 jab. So that reminds me, I remember when I was training with one certain coach at some point, right? He said something that, you see how you wrap your stuff when you're tired? Like, you see boxers, when boxers are tired, they will throw their wrist wrap away, like just like let it just be. It's like all those mummy wraps or something, right? How you wrap it when you're tired says a lot about you, because when you're tired is when you should try your possible best to become coordinated. And that is why my coach says, this is my current coach says, train when you're tired, because when you're tired, by that time you get the point, right? That's why I say that there's an art to trying and not trying, because it's almost like you're learning how to punch, and this is where I'm getting to. I'm learning how to punch. My opinion is, I want to land the heaviest blow, so I'm pushing my weight into the blow. But my coach keeps saying, no, keep your body where it is, throw the punch, throw your hands alone, right? Yes, but because I want to land as heavy punches, I am pushing my weight, right? That can only happen if one, I'm certain that I'm going to meet the opponent, right? And I know that I really want to devastate the person, right? That means I must have also trained the regular punch before doing all this bullshit. So same thing is, when you keep doing this 1, 2, you learn to throw your hand 1, 2, like 1, 2, right? Instead of throwing my full, so I throw it. Instead of pushing my full body with it, I just throw it. And instead that, you can only get that when you're tired, right? Well, because I don't have time right now, maybe when because I'll be taking a break completely, right, this week from MMA. At least Tuesday and Thursday I will not be going anywhere, so I'll be training right here Tuesday and Thursday, until I basically get myself then and I get back. So Tuesdays I'm going to practice punches and kicks. Let me see if I can train to tiredness. Because of work I can't train to tiredness and time. Let's see though. Let's see how much magic I can do. But this coming week I won't be going for MMA at all. 0. So because of how this wrap is, normally there's a way I wrap my wrap, but because of the way it's built, I can't do it like that. I'll have to what the fuck am I doing? Okay, sorry, I'm doing the wrong way, the wrong direction. So a thought just crossed my mind, right? I just saw a man looks like in his 60s, very big stomach. I feel like his walking is due to health challenges, and it reminded me of one. Don't judge him because he's fat, because in that process I may take on the identity 1, 2. And I can tell that a lot of people who get fat like this, right, I'm saying it from a point of understanding that a lot of them, they get fat because of sometimes stress. sometimes they feel like they have stress, they engage in like daily stress, and that daily stress turns into years, turns into weeks, the weeks turns into months. That is why most people never really question, they never really take the time to zoom out and realize, what the fuck am I doing? That is why I asked that's why I was able to step out and say, hold on, what the fuck am I doing? And that's something that Steve Jobs says, because if you look at it or not, the greatest people, right, if you listen to their speeches over and over again, they obviously sometimes they pass messages that most people need to hear. And Steve Jobs' message goes like this: that whenever I'm doing something or doing a project or something, and ask myself that if this is the last day of my life, would I want to do this? The answer is no, too many times in a row. Then he knows that he's not in the right place. And something that I'm doing, so that's why I said, that's why I'm leaving tech. And whenever I tell my people that I'm leaving tech, they make it sound like, are you stupid? To do what? To create content? I said, well, because you're looking at influencers and the likes. I'm not an influencer. One of my goals is to, because I grew up in an all boys family, one of my goals is to, I think I've said it several times, and there's this particular story in my head that I don't want to use because it feels like it's authentic, it's deep, and then it just feels like I'm profiting off of the story of someone who is late. It's my brother. So my brother, we had arguments because of his lifestyle, the kind of friends he was keeping around. He may just keep a distance, right? To be very frank, I'm not bothered. So we kept our distances, and he didn't like it. I mean, well, because I grew up as a lone child. What that means is that nobody was really there for me when I was young. And I don't say it in a way of, oh fuck them, it's a way of, I'm okay by myself. Like, if they need my help, I show up, because that's all they've been using me to do. They need my help. People barely think about me, right? And it's not a way of spiting them. It's a way of, okay, at least I learn to be by myself, and that's like a gift. I tell people that sometimes the best gifts in life are gifts that life forced upon you. And one gift I have is I can be with people at the same time be on my own. What I mean is I don't need people to feel myself. I don't need people to validate my ideas. And it's a good thing. Sometimes where it feels bad, sometimes the people around me feel like they don't have connection with me, and I'm like, sorry for that, but it's just me. And I noticed a lot of people are trying to get me to open up, what's on my mind. I said, no, why am I opening up? Like, I can tell you my story, and what would that change? I'll tell you my story. I noticed that sometimes I've seen women try to like want to get me emotional about my story, and I'm like I can tell you my story and not feel it. Yeah, I feel like it's a gift, and then every gift feels like a curse, right? So I always tell people that your childhood story can do two things to you. It can either traumatize you, or it can make you a better person. It all boils down to how you see the story. It all comes down to how you see the story. So I'm also trying to, when I'm done with my 75 hard, because I have about 21, 22 days left or something. When I'm done with my 75 hard, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing like these daily vlogs. Daily vlogs is wake up in the morning, have a couple of talking points, talk to the camera, right? Talk to the camera, and just basically get the point. Being in that nice flow state, coming in and out of it, and making a mistake when I come out of it. It's something that I would always enjoy and I would always embrace. So thank you very much. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.